Ryan, this is another section for you to edit out. Give me a second to remember this word.
We don't care who you wanna ship. We're gonna read your fic and we're gonna give it shipwrecked. Ooh,
Welcome to Shipwrecked, the show where we bring to life the internet's best and worst fanfiction. We are your hosts, Chris, Ryan, and Tanine, and this week we're going to be journeying into the land of Deadpool. Who's excited?
The merc with a mouth.
The merc with a mouth.
And then they covered his mouth, which was really weird. And then they chopped off his head, and then his head just zoomed lasers for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. I just watched Ragnarok. It was good.
Yeah, how good is Taika Waititi? Jesus Christ. We don't deserve him. Well, I mean, what's his name? Jon Favreau did a good job with 2008's Iron Man, and I feel like essentially the only weak link in all of this, Joss Whedon, the egg-headed little garbage heap. Because I think the Russo brothers did an okay job with Civil War, Winter Soldier, and this last Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, they're all fun to watch.
No, but Joss Whedon especially are just egregious.
Yeah, it's hard for me because he's a troubled person and I loved Buffy and Angel. So as far as shows
garbage
go.
Heap of a garbage little egg-headed doofus.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't have a lot more adjectives to describe it.
I'm not gonna disagree. Like, I don't have a lot of defense for like his choices. It's just that I really love those two shows. And
I could not get into Buffy, and I think David Boreanaz is really ugly, so
I also agree.
Anything else that he's in.
But he's a lot funnier in Angel than he is in Buffy, because he's more dynamic, obviously, as the lead.
Do you mean funny looking because he's ugly?
I agree that he's ugly. I was never shipping him with Buffy, like Spike all the way. Anyway, get ready for our upcoming Buffy episode. Honestly, like, our 6 listeners just have no fucking idea what we're gonna do. How did you guys first meet Deadpool?
Oh, you mean Skull Poople?
Skull, tell me more about that, please.
Skull. Do you guys not remember this? There used to be a billboard that was advertising for Deadpool, and it was the skull emoji, the poo emoji, and the letter L. And so you're supposed to read it as Dead Poo O, but everyone kept reading it as Skull Poople.
This sounds like a very, very dumb marketing campaign.
It's Deadpool, dude. How much more thought do you think they're putting into this concept? The first movie sounded like, kids who think South Park is edgy and hilarious, like, wrote it. And I'm saying children who find South Park funny wrote that movie. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
I sincerely liked Deadpool 2 much better than Deadpool 1.
Can you go on that little rant that you have about how Deadpool is like the white boy?
Oh my god.
Oh, that thing I sent you guys about how Deadpool is white boy Santa?
Yes.
And how because he goes on these, no, that was a tweet I sent you earlier. It was just saying, like, Deadpool is like white boy Santa because he does all these, media, like, sorry. He does all these, like, media performances? What's that word? Netta, what's that word? When Deadpool does a media thing, it starts with a P.
Promotions.
Yes. Okay.
A thing, and that's what you expected me to get to promotion?
Yeah. Well, somebody figured it out. So, it's okay. So Deadpool does all these media promotions, but like as Deadpool, like, so Ryan Reynolds does all these media promotions as Deadpool, and so everyone has to like pretend like he's an actual character, and everyone's like, "Oh, good, you've been good. Like, the Deadpool has come again this year. You've been such a good boy." And it's just this like fantastic concept because I hate.
Actually, kind of what my fic is about.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah, sort of. You'll see.
Are we jumping right in? Should we jump right in?
I feel like we should jump right in. I feel like our listeners have a lot of anticipation since we've been gone, dealing with your thesis.
Oh, yeah, well, that's done, everybody.
Yeah, Tanina is officially a master of something.
Master of wasting time.
Yeah.
Don't make my mistakes, children.
I don't think you needed a degree for that. I think you were already an expert. But...
I'm fabulous at wasting time, but now I have a receipt for it.
Yeah, you gotta waste time receipt.
Whoop, whoop. Submit this for my taxes.
So, my fic is called Deadpool Finds Love, and the description is, it's by Iruka Sensei 871. It's on fanfiction.net. Ryan Reynolds has a problem. Deadpool decided to move in, and he has to find a way to get rid of him before Deadpool ruins his life.
How does that even work? I don't understand.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going on in the story. Alright. Ryan Reynolds came home from a long day at work to find Deadpool on his couch, laying on his stomach and drawing on a notepad. His legs were in the air, kicking slowly
Hashtag quirky.
as he doodled. Yeah, Deadpool is the original Manic Pixie Dream Boy. You follow me around all day, and I can't even get away from you here? Ryan asked. How did you get in? I feel like that's how actual Ryan feels about me. But, Deadpool looked up from his drawing. Figure it out, Jack. You know my name, jerk, Ryan said. You need to leave. Can't. Why not? Ryan asked. Don't want to. Deadpool went back to drawing, humming to himself. Ryan opened the fridge, finding it almost empty, except for his collection of artisan mustards. Did you drink all of my beer? No? Yes? Maybe? I don't know. Ryan came back in the living room and sat across from Deadpool on an artistic metal chair his ex had bought 5 years ago. If it was so great, she would have taken it with her when she left, but it was artistically uncomfortable. He'd never gotten around to throwing it out. Of course, the merc had the only comfortable seat in the room. What are you doing? Ryan asked. Drawing a picture of my new girlfriend. She's really pretty. Want to see her? He held up the drawing. Isn't she beautiful? It was a cartoon drawing of Cthulhu, with cartoon hearts dripping blood over the creature's head, and also a few disturbingly anatomically correct parts, also dripping blood. One of the tentacles was wrapped around a cartoon heart. I read about her in a story, Deadpool said. Well, part of a story. The beginning anyway, and some of the middle. I didn't get any farther than that. Too long didn't read, you know. She's sleeping in some city named Riley. It says she's dead, sort of, but our love can overcome that obstacle. There's a picture of her on the cover of the book, and I'm gonna get her to sign it for me. This is what she looked like on the cover, or better than that. Deadpool sighed and kissed the picture gently. She could be a model. Cthulhu is male. Deadpool tapped his pencil on his chin. Don't care. You're insane, Ryan said. Your mom didn't mind. What?
Classic.
Sorry, meant your
I
dad.
hate every second of this, by the way. Anyone who's listening, I hate every second of this.
It's really quirky.
Very upset.
Sorry, meant your dad. Both of them, actually. It was a wild night. Ryan decided to leave, to take a walk and clear his head. Deadpool could find his way in, so he could find his way out. He didn't count on Deadpool following him, but the idiot stayed right behind him. Will you come to the wedding? Deadpool asked. He couldn't walk like a normal man. He seemed to have too much energy, bouncing around and running backwards. You might want to read the end of the story before you start picking out china patterns for the wedding, Ryan said. You're just jealous because he's my girlfriend, or will be once I wake him up. Sure, I'm jealous. Why don't you find him on Google Maps? I'll save the date. Oh, look, Deadpool said. A Starbucks. Let's get coffee. I'm gonna tell them my name is Captain Waterballs and see if they write that on a cup. You don't need caffeine, Ryan said. You need a tranquilizer. Says you, Cornelius. I'm a chill guy. It's why the ladies love me. Ryan groaned.
I'm only ever gonna say that from now on. Anytime you guys, like Ryan's like, oh, hey guys, maybe we should wrap up this episode. Says you, Cornelius.
I'm a chill guy.
I'm a chill guy.
Ryan groaned. Why are you following me? You need to make movies about me. The last one was good, but how could you leave out Captain Canada? That fucker is gorgeous. And Zombie Deadpool Head? I love Zombie Deadpool Head. The fans would love Zombie Head Tetherball. Sure, you'll lose a few to bites, but it would be worth the footage. We couldn't fit everything in, Ryan said. Well, you did get a lot of Chihuahua in there, so I guess I'll forgive you. Next time, get the studio to put Wolverine in there. I really want to fight Wolverine. Too expensive. Hugh Jackman is expensive. Get the real guy. Wolverine will work for dog biscuits. Wolverine isn't real, Ryan said. I think he's a phony too, Deadpool said, with all the growling and all that. He's so phony. Not real at all. Such a jerk. No, I mean, what's the use? What's wrong? Deadpool asked. Are you angry? Did I hurt your little feelings, Special Snowflake? Shut up. So you're gonna come with me to find Riley? No. Stop talking. Your mother doesn't mind when Ryan pushed him in front of a bus. And continued on, blissfully Deadpool free, but only for a few minutes. As he turned to head back home, he saw Deadpool leaning against a post and shaking his head. That was not friendly. I'm writing mean things about you in my journal later. Fuck off, Deadpool.
See, I feel like he should have taken this opportunity to say, I'm going to write a bad Yelp review.
It's not
Who is
wrong.
the author? I'm writing a review now, so I need to tell them to edit their fic immediately. Get it together.
This is Aruka Sensei 871. The fic actually goes on for a while, but where's the best line? Oh yeah. So anyway, they get into a fight, and Deadpool says that he's gonna leave Ryan, and Ryan's like stoked about that. And so Deadpool leaves a note on the fridge that says, "Dear shithead, gone to find tentacle love. Fuck you. Lunch is in the fridge. Love, Deadpool."
I was actually looking for a Deadpool fanfic. I
think
found
they
one.
hook up later.
Is it Ryan's turn or my turn?
It's
I'll go.
Go for it.
Says
So
you,
this one's
Cornelius.
I'm not talking to any of you right now.
Cool.
I thought you were a chill guy, Cornelius.
Gosh. Why the ladies love you.
This one's only to the listeners, and I don't want you guys to hear it at all.
Okay. I'm not listening anyway.
This one's called "Is There a
I'm
Reason?"
done talking, and now I'm going to perform.
Yeah, can you give us a little more like extra theater, this week? Just show it up a little bit. Maybe a funny
This one's
voice.
called "Is There a Reason You're Naked in My Bed?"
Oh my
Title of your sex tape.
So many questions already. God.
Okay, diving straight in. Dopinder walked into his apartment and dumped his jacket on the couch. It had been a long day,
I am very scared of how this is going to end up.
only made worse by the police showing up when he was home for lunch that day to ask about the man he may have murdered. But honestly, he was only following his friend's advice and had been effective. Jita had come over last night to be comforted by Bondu's cousin and had only left after a phone call from her mother that morning asking where she was. He kicked off his shoes and headed for his bedroom. He had had a long day of driving, and now all he wanted to do was take a long hot shower and sleep for as long as he could get away with. His plans went out the window when he entered his bedroom.
No.
A man lay on his bed, a man covered with what appeared to be some kind of scar tissue wearing a red mask.
I do not ship this.
Just a red mask. Dopinder's mouth hung open. It took him a few moments to process the fact that Mr. Poole had somehow gotten to his apartment and was now naked and apparently waiting for him.
Same.
Is there a reason you're naked in my bed? Deadpool turned to him.
He said the thing!
He said the thing! You guys didn't see it, but I was making hand motions with my arms as I said that.
Is there
Because he said the line. Roll credits. Deadpool turned to him. The fabric of the mask shifted slightly and Dopinder was sure he was smiling. Just wanted to check up on you. So, how are things going with you and Jita? The man leaned forward like a girl at a slumber party talking with her friends about their crushes. Dopinder walked forward and sat down on the edge of his double bed. Surprisingly well, she was here last night. As strange as it was, by this point he had come to terms with the fact that it was better just to indulge Mr. Poole.
Oh, yeah.
But why are you naked? Why aren't you? Dopinder faltered at that. Nothing about this made any sense, and he didn't know how to respond, so instead he tried to change the topic. How did it go with the woman you talked about? Besides, maybe the line of questioning would help him figure out why the other man was here. Naked. Deadpool sat up and gave Dopinder 2 thumbs up. It went great. Still trying to figure out the details, but our sex life is back on track. Good, I think. Dopinder paused a moment. What was the best way to put this? Does she know that you're here? Deadpool raised an eyebrow. Somehow visible beneath the mask. We're not exactly what you'd call exclusive. Neither are Jita and I.
Oh,
It was
yeah?
out of his mouth before he even thought about it. Still, he didn't exactly regret it. Good, because I brought my unicorn. Dopinder didn't know what to think as Deadpool pulled a large stuffed unicorn onto the bed beside him. None of this made any sense. It had to be some kind of crazy dream that he'd wake up from any second. He leaned forward and pulled up Deadpool's mask. He was going crazy. He knew it. He had never done anything like this before, but he had never kidnapped or killed anyone, or accepted high fives as payment before he met Mr. Poole either. Maybe this could be good. The end.
Wow, I do not ship them, but I do
Just know that I'm offended and hurt.
I think that's what they're going for.
think you cared about Deadpool so much to be hurt by this shit that we're reading.
Now, I do have one more, but I think I'll read it after Janine because it's just special and 60 words.
Janine, what'd you bring to the table tonight?
Well, okay, so as you all know, that my method of searching, of course, like you know how all of us have our own ways of finding
Yes.
that juicy fic that we like to chew on. Chris likes her fanfiction.net. I still don't understand, but whatever. I actually, the way I do it is I actually make them sort it by kudos. Like I actually get like quote unquote quality trash for you guys. You're welcome.
Like we're being
That's what people
roasted
call me.
here.
So what I'm saying, so as I was sorting it through kudos, I noticed that all of them for like several pages were Spidey Pool.
Oh no.
I did see
I
some
don't-
Spidey.
I mean, so one time I was getting my nails done and I asked for Deadpool nails because I'm a grown adult. And so she was putting like the Deadpool face on my nails and like she was trying to understand like what she was doing. And so the other girl there was like trying to explain it to her and she kept pointing at my nails and pointing at the picture and pointing at my nails and yelling, Spider-Man! Spider-Man! And I wanted to be like, no ma'am, gay Spider-Man. But I thought that that was going to confuse her more.
Yeah.
So I just said, yep,
Yeah,
Spider-Man!
Spider-Man.
It's not wrong.
So, but like I like to describe Deadpool as gay Spider-Man, even though he's not gay Spider-Man. But him being gay for Spider-Man, now that's an
I
interesting.
have seen an
Story.
upsetting amount of Deadpool Spider-Man fan art on Tumblr.
I mean, it makes
Uh,
sense.
I think my favorite is the. Oh no, it wasn't. I've seen them dress. I've seen like fan art of like Jensen Ackles, like Dean dressed up as Deadpool. But I was like thinking of one, and I was mixing it up with the one of him, I think dressed as Captain America, shoving his hands down Sam's pants, dressed as Bucky, and it was like
There's just so much going on in that
That's
that's
sentence.
a whole
I'm
thing.
kind of into that. I feel like the characterization of Dean Winchester as Captain America is on point.
Oh, absolutely. Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have made a good Captain America. He's very good
but
looking.
I think Bucky as Cass would have been Cass's Bucky.
Yes.
That's the fan art I need.
Vaguely Russian, menacing,
Mm-hmm.
quiet,
Yes.
fake arm.
Yeah. It's right.
Yeah.
I need it. And then
So, here we are. This one's called Baby, I'd Victoria your secret anytime.
So,
Netta says that's not a verb. But you know what? I'm here to tell you that perhaps it is.
I'm here to tell you that it's a
you're
gerund.
about to Victoria our secret.
Please secret my Victoria.
I'm your secret Victoria Deadpool Santa.
It says a lot about Peter's life that when he clambers into the living room window of his own apartment at 4 a.m. and sees Deadpool making pancakes in the kitchen, it's not the weirdest thing to happen to him all week. It's not even the 12th weirdest thing. He has no idea how the guy keeps getting in. It happens often enough that he stopped being annoying a long time ago, and now it's just sort of nice. When he's not trying to kill people, Deadpool makes bizarrely good company, and Peter's just pathetic enough to take companionship where he can get it. Plus, pancakes. Everyone likes pancakes. What is weird, and it takes Peter's brain a second to catch up, because A, he's tired, and B, what the fuck, is that Deadpool isn't wearing any pants. Or much of anything, really.
Just the mask.
Nearly naked Deadpool. Kitchen. 4 a.m. Pancakes. Okay, maybe this is maybe the 12th weirdest thing to happen to Peter all week. Hey, baby boy. Okay, this is why I picked the fic.
It's so in character.
I just don't care for that word. I don't care for that
Hey,
in any way, shape, or form.
Hey, baby boy.
Boy.
Hey, baby boy.
Hey, baby boy.
Deadpool, Wade, calls over his shoulder. Wade still got his mask on, tugged down to about the level of his nose, which we all know, due to the Sam Raimi 2000 Spider-Man movie, is really where masks should be, but not when you're right side up. So I'm really hoping this leads to a sexy upside-down kiss, but not in the way we're expecting. Anyway, back to my sentence. But Peter finds it pretty much impossible to think of him as Deadpool when there's that much skin on display. And I don't understand why they're not talking about how his skin looks like a chicken nugget. I'm making Mickey Mouse trademark pancakes. Pretty cool, huh? And Disney can't even sue because I pronounced the trademark correctly and everything. They did the little, superscript TM thing. It's supposed to be funny, whatever.
Debatable.
Peter says. He peels off his own mask and runs a hand through his sweat-soaked hair, warily staggers from the living room into the kitchen proper. Please tell me there's still beer in my fridge. Okay, also, I'm sorry, I thought Spider-Man was, eternally, 18. What do you mean beer? Why does he have beer? What's going on? How old is he?
Drink. I hate to.
I thought he was a baby boy.
He's
baby boys don't drink
over
beer.
the age of 12, beer's fair game.
Petey, Wade says. Sometimes Peter thinks Wade just likes the sound of his name. Petey. Beer and pancakes do not a proper breakfast make. Says who? Says Martha Stewart. What? Peter blinks. Since when do you watch Martha Stewart? Wade half turns from Peter's tiny stove to grin at him, says, Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I'm a Gordon Ramsay guy all the way. And Peter's brain suddenly short circuits because he was completely and utterly mistaken about his earlier impression regarding Wade's lack of clothing. Wade is wearing panties and a matching bra? They're pink. I'm like, okay, also, how do you not notice that?
I don't know. But if anyone was gonna not notice it, it would be Peter Parker. That's
Yeah, because he's too busy looking at that nugget butt.
Yeah.
Nugget butt.
Oh, yeah.
But the nugget butt is covered in the panties! What is he staring
nugget
at?
butt one more time.
Please, just for the people.
Yeah.
Say it!
Say
Say nugget butt one more time! Nugget butt. They're pink.
They're pink.
Peter's mouth is so dry that it might as well be the Sahara, and he feels like the world's biggest creeper because he can't stop staring. Wait, what are you wearing? What, this? Wade looks down, takes in the ensemble, like he's just now noticed it, and then shrugs. Everything else is in the wash. And because Peter's known Wade for a while now, he can maybe see how this makes sense. Maybe Wade has a thing about going commando and just having to have an old girlfriend's panties lying around. One thing led to another, but... and the bra? Peter croaks. Wade just gives him a look like Peter's grown a second head or toads are falling out of his mouth or something. It's a match set, he says. What was I supposed to do? Just not wear it?
Same.
I can appreciate that.
Peter thinks faintly. That's exactly what you're supposed to do, and he has no idea why this is fucking with him so badly. It's not like he hasn't seen Wade in various states of undress before.
Oh, yeah?
For someone who's so skittish about his face, he's shockingly immodest when it comes to the rest of his body, aka his nugget butt. And Peter's just quietly accepted the fact that having Wade hang around his apartment means there's going to be a lot more scarred skin and muscle on display than usual. Okay, this is the first mention of the nugget butt situation, and I don't think that they're going into enough detail about the ridges of the nug. Which is
Just
cool,
love the
really.
dog.
It's the only thing I'm thinking about.
Is how Deadpool looks delicious.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I like him
this
in
is
heels probably the best.
truly this man looks like a goddamn snack.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Which is cool, really. It's not like Peter looks or anything. Much. And even if he does look, which he doesn't, he really doesn't, it's not weird because it's all in the name of professional interest.
Peter sounds like a straight dude battling his gay thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean every straight guy ever?
It's
Right, professional.
Ryan just embraces his.
Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate a man who's confident in his sexuality.
It's just like,
That's-
look
it
at how
makes
hot this guy is, Chris. Look at this pic of. Anyway,
Anyway,
this happened earlier today. So
this
Well,
happens
I
most
always-
days.
I always like it when guys vote in my hot or not polls on Instagram because that's what I use my Instagram for.
it's
It's always me. I vote
My
no.
hot or not polls, hort or nort, actually is what I put.
your Instagram. is true.
Boot or boot. Anyway.
Okay, hang on. So, okay, so then now he's okay. I'm actually gonna keep reading this because this is honestly like this is fucking bullshit. This fic. Pink little boy shorts and a scrap of a bra, silky looking fabric and lace edging. It should look ridiculous. It should look absolutely ridiculous because there's not a feminine bone in Wade's body. Okay, also, how dare you? This man knows how to stand. The guy's huge and he's all planes and angles and flat hard muscle. And again, nugget body. But instead of being ridiculous, the juxtaposition between the femininity of the under things and Wade's solidity is just really, really hot.
Same.
Peter swallows hard and gives a silent thanks to the protective cup of his suit. Excuse me,
There's a few things in that sentence.
because this has the potential to get very awkward very fast. So he stutters, "Stop staring at Wade's ass. Stop staring at Wade's ass. I'm gonna go take a shower. And maybe jerk off." He adds mentally. A lot.
A lot.
Suit yourself. Wade shrugs and turns back to the stove. He flips the current pancake, and Peter isn't jealous at all of the fact that it lands perfectly instead of hitting the fan above the stove. Okay, Peter, you don't need to use all of your spider strength to flip pancakes, you ding-dong. But don't expect Mickey Mouse to trademark when you're done, mi amigo. This is a one-time deal. After this batch, it's regular old sadness flapjacks for you. Not that flapjacks are sad, or that mine are sad, because mine are awesome, but seeing as you could be eating the head of Mickey Mouse trademark, he's wearing stockings, Peter realizes abruptly. Jesus fucking Christ. Also, Spider-Man has very poor vision and observational skills. This is why he needs spider senses, because obviously his eyes do not work very well, and he cannot take in what's in front of him.
Does he need to like
Does he need to get glasses? Yes,
take,
he
like,
does.
vitamins or something? Because he shoots out all that web stuff, and I'm just still not.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I'm thinking of like the Tom Holland version here, but you know what? If we do Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, then yeah. Also, I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man with Ryan Reynolds Deadpool.
It's
It's
an adult film.
What about just all three with Deadpool?
Andrew Garfield coming in from behind with his hair.
With his hair?
So anyway,
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 are you done with your moment?
there's one more thing. So okay, Wade's all but growling now. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty fond of the epic bromance we've been developing over the past year or so, but you've made it quite clear that you're not into broke-backing my mountain.
Same.
Oh Jesus.
Same.
So interesting. So yeah, so they keep like, you know, quietly touching each other. And so he's like talking to him and he's like, "And I say nice things about your butt." And he's like, "You say nice things about everyone's butt," Peter feels obligated to point out. "It's practically your thing." "But I say the nicest things about yours," Wade says patiently. And okay, from a Wade point of view, Peter can kind of see how this might in fact be a pretty blatant declaration of interest. He says, "Oh." Wade leans in until their foreheads are touching. "Spider Kid." he says very seriously. I have wanted to get my teeth into that thing since I saw it. I don't make pancakes for just anyone, you know. It's a million kinds of wrong that Peter finds this touching. Also, sort of hot. Also, I hate that he keeps calling him like Spider Kid and Baby Boy.
Baby boy.
It's really creepy. This is like that one like bio I sent you where it's Prison Daddy Deadpool.
I read everything you send us to me.
I saw that.
You know what? Fuck you,
I
guys.
didn't know.
I'm hanging up.
No! I was afraid to click on that because I thought it was like about the latest scene in Deadpool 2 and it was going to be a fic about him and that kid, and I got really uncomfortable.
What, the chubby New Zealand one?
Yeah.
I liked him.
Yeah, he was cool. Big, like, pyro maniac. Very angry.
I don't understand Cable's motives at the end of that movie at all. Does anybody understand Cable's motives at the end of that movie at all?
Like in what regard?
He decided to
He's like, I only have enough plutonium to go back to the future, like, once. And then they're like, oh, yeah, you do only have enough plutonium to make that trip once. Let's make sure that you can get back after we've solved your crisis with Hot Hands over here. So they solve their crisis with Hot Hands over here. And then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go back in time and save this idiot. The fuck you are? Shoot the little neck thing off of him and your problem is solved, and then you get to go back to the future where you belong, Mr. Brand from the Goonies. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, I was confused.
Is anybody else finding that very strange?
Yeah.
I think they're trying to push that, like, if like Deadpool survived or something, like the kid would turn into the evil guy.
No, because he did survive and nothing happened.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I feel like they just really wanted to make the joke with Green Lantern.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, I know they wanted to make all those jokes, and it was, like, really funny that they made those jokes, but I just don't understand
I don't know what to tell you.
how they got to that point.
I'm 100% sure that I wasn't supposed to take anything that happened in Deadpool 2 seriously.
Hey, can I ask you guys a really quick question?
Yeah.
So, in Beauty and the Beast, right, you know, during that Be Our Guest scene,
I haven't probably watched that movie in like
I don't give a
15 years.
I've got a very important question for you, for us, for our listeners, for everyone. So it says 10 years now we've been rusting. Where did the food come from? They don't eat. What is she eating?
Dude, I thought Beauty and the Beast was definitely about hallucinating things. I mean, she sees all these talking. I thought, that chick was just a little insane.
True life. But also, where did the food come from?
It's like in her head, man.
Gross.
It's in her head. There's no food. There's no love story. It's just Stockholm Syndrome.
So she fell in love with like a very aggressive furry?
No, I think she's
happens to the best of us.
Too. He's probably just he's probably just like a hairy man. Yeah, and she's just like, I've read too many books. La la la. I'm by myself. Let's make up story time. Keep myself entertained.
That's rough.
Anyway, I had a very normal childhood.
Ryan?
I got nothing.
Ready to
for
dazzle us?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
60
my
words or
story.
less.
Ending on a high note. So this one's called "The Greatest Yaoi Fanfic Ever." 1 exclamation mark.
No.
Wait, have you guys read Yaoi Steve or something? I think that's it.
No.
It was like this little like web comic that someone drew, and like they would draw them like making out, and it was really just two people with their mouths open, just like bringing their tongues near each other. Oh, I need to find this so you can like tweet it for the friends.
Right.
For
So-
the
I just need to give you the Twitter login.
So it
Oh,
starts
yeah.
out. Deadpool died and regenerated or something, and magically appeared in Eternia. Lol, what place is this? He asked to himself. And suddenly,
Wait, is he saying lol?
yeah, no, he said lol, LOL, in quotation marks. Lol, what place is this? He asked To himself, suddenly a borrow-looking skeleton man show up. "Nyah! I'm Skeletor!" the skeleton man shouted, and Deadpool swooned. "Okay, let's do it," Deadpool said. And they did the do, and had an aborted skeleton baby. The end.
Whew.
My life has changed now.
This is proof that less is more.
Less is indeed more. But you know what? It leaves me wanting more.
It does?
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
I am not nice.
I have one more Deadpool story.
Alright.
Please.
And I feel like this is more about Deadpool fans than it is about Deadpool.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So
White man, avert your ears.
So about 3 years ago or so, I think it was 2015, Halloween. I was at this, like, club. It's, like, mostly a gay club, but some straight guys managed to, tag along. Mostly because it's, like, one of the only clubs in Costa Mesa. I think it's closed now. It's called the Shark Club. Anyway, so, I'm single, I'm ready to mingle, I'm dressed like sexy Moaning Myrtle, as one does. And so I see this guy, in a Deadpool mask. So, like, to this day, I still have no idea what he looks like. But, I'm dancing with him, and it's fun, and we exchange numbers, and then, I get an aggressive text later that's like, "I really want to fuck you with the Deadpool mask on." And I'm like, oh man, it's been real.
Oh boy.
So, I feel like, my lack of responses, I ultimately ended up texting him exclusively just in Deadpool GIFs whenever he would send a message. But it didn't just go on for like a couple weeks. He would like forget about it, and then a year later, I would get another message from him like, "Hey girl, like, how you doing?"
Oh my
I
god.
was gonna say,
Dude, you like fucked this guy
This
up.
happened for years, and most recently happened like a couple months ago.
And this was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, this was Halloween 2015.
astounding.
Yeah.
Dude, you fucked this guy's shit up.
Or maybe it was Halloween 2016. I don't know. It's been like 3 years. But
Definitely too long.
it's the idea more is just like you get a weird, I don't even know his name, honestly. He's just in my phone as Deadpool. Deadpool fans, you gotta be careful. They might,
You never know.
they got stamina, apparently.
You give a man a full bodysuit and
But he didn't even have the full bodysuit on. He was wearing like normal white boy outfit to a club, which was like jeans.
A guy came to my house doing that one time to my Halloween party. He was wearing totally normal clothes and a Spider-Man mask.
Yeah, it was exactly that. And I'm like, what
Fucking white
do
boys,
they
dude.
think that this just fixes, the whole thing if you just put the mask on?
I feel like that's
Wow.
the most accurate closing thought anyone could have on
Christ.
So, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Shipwrecked. If you have any comments, concerns, or if you're the guy who was Deadpool all those years ago who keeps texting me, then you can tweet us at ShipwreckedCast or visit our website at shipwreckedpodcast.com. So from our OT3 to yours, so long and see you next week, unless you are a creepy club Deadpool, in which see you never. Boy, bye.